because it's much easier on the body not to have some kind of foreign thing within the heart.
Just like your dentist talk about, it's better to try to fix this rather than putting in a new tooth.
Put something in.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, that's critical. So an 8-hour procedure, and during the course of that time, a lot going on.
Right.
What did you have to do to prepare for it? Did you, I mean, when you were seeing your blue feet, or you said what were the other parts that became blue? Your hands?
My hands, my feet, and they would go numb from time to time. They were very cold and cool to the touch.
Did you have to stop all of your workout regimens and everything when you found this out, or did you? How did your life change?
Actually, as soon as I recovered fully, I went back to everything that I was doing. I actually competed with my cheerleading squad this year,
Really?
and I'm back to dancing. So I'm back to normal. I have what you would consider normal.
Yeah.
And it's been so much better. Like, I feel like a new person.
Really?
But some of the things that I was experiencing before my surgery would be, like, I couldn't catch my breath, and my feet were turning blue, and it was just a rough time. They tested me for mono several times.
Yeah. And what do you dance? That's ballet, or that's jazz, or tap, or?
Everything from tap and jazz, ballet, lyrical, modern.
Modern, yeah.
I've been dancing for 14 years, so.
I understand from your mother. Otherwise, you're also in some pageants. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You've been in pageants in the past.
The most recent was the Miss Socastee High School pageant.
Oh, great.
Right.
How'd that go?
I got Miss Senior. A senior cannot win our pageant, but I received Miss Senior along with talent and interview and evening gown.
That's tremendous. Congratulations. You
Thank
said
you.
a senior can't win?
No, they cannot win our pageant.
I guess
They want you to be able to come back and represent the school through your reign.
That's interesting. And I guess a senior won this year at Myrtle Beach.
Right.
My daughter and I actually went to see Brooke. Brooke invited us to come see her hand off the crown, and Ryan Durant won.
Ryan Durant.
I think there in Myrtle Beach. Very interesting. Pageants are a fascinating thing. You know, I think folks probably don't understand what all goes into a pageant.
They're very difficult. They're a lot harder than most people would think, especially if you're going to be up in front of a crowd of people. You also know how to hold yourself and speak.
Right. We were very impressed with Brooke and some of the answers. You know, when one of the MC that night had asked her thoughts on the Miss America, some of the issues that she was going through with Donald Trump. And Brooke handled herself much better, I think, than virtually anyone in the crowd could have imagined.
She told me she wasn't expecting that.
Really? Yeah. Well, she did great. She was tremendous. You know, it's fascinating, of course, the folks that pageant works a lot. Have you been able to maintain your cheerleading, or is that something you had to curtail?
Well, I had to build my strength back, but along with that, I also had to build cardiovascular, like working out, running. All those things helped a lot in recovering.
So you can, is there anything that has changed physically? I mean, any things you can't do now? Or, as you said, you feel like a new person. You may be able to do more.
The only thing that I was told I cannot do is scuba dive. So, I mean,
and why's that?
I think it has something to do with the pressure and also breathing in the oxygen. But other than that, I'm not exactly sure.
Right. You're just not going to mess with it. Yeah. Not push it. Yeah. Now, are you thinking about? You have plans for college? We got about 10 minutes. Plans for college?
I plan on attending Coastal, and I'm thinking about looking at the criminology and psychology.
Really?
Right.
That's interesting.
I want to work
Sheriff
with
Thompson will be with us tomorrow morning. You maybe want to come back and check him out.
Right.
You're thinking of criminology? What prompted that?
Well, you've seen all the CSI shows and stuff like that. I mean, I love watching that kind of stuff, but I also have a friend who is a victim's advocate, and the impact that she's made on people really made me want to get into that.
Well, you'll have to check out Sheriff Thompson tomorrow. He's coming in to talk about some fascinating subjects and a lot that goes on, whether it's in the police department or even the sheriff's office, how much they interface with folks, and criminology is a big part of that.
Right.
That is very interesting. You know, when you think about how lives change and how you've been able to get out there and try to make a difference for others, I'm sure you're asked on a regular basis to go and talk to folks about this experience. How has that impacted classmates, for instance?
Well, a lot of my classmates didn't know what was going on with me until I had my benefit, and when they found out, they were like, how can a 17-year-old have heart problems?
Yeah.
And it was very weird for all of them at first, but now that they know that I've gone through it, they all get in there and support the American Heart Association.
That's tremendous. So we'll probably see some of them out here volunteering next
at the
Saturday
Heart Ball.
night. Yeah, good. It's getting real close, and of course, a lot of folks. You've helped out in the Heart Balls in the past?
Yes, sir. I've done a little bit of work with the Heart Ball, but mostly I've done more of speeches, letting people know about my heart defect. I wasn't as involved in the American Heart Association. I did little things throughout that.
Right.
But I was more involved in Light the Night until I had my heart defect, and that made me really want to get in there and help the American Heart Association.
Right. You have brothers and sisters, Ashlyn?
Yes, sir.
How does this impact? Go ahead.
I have a younger brother.
A younger brother. How about the impact on him and your parents?
Right. I was really scared at first. I prayed that my brother didn't have the same sort of thing I did.
Right.
So as soon as we went through my surgery, I made my mom get my brother tested, and he's completely healthy.
Really? Yeah.
And it was so funny because I watched his echo compared to mine, and they look so different. And it's weird to watch how a healthy heart works compared to a heart that's been through heart surgery. They look completely different.
Really?
But I was very thankful that he's healthy and my parents are healthy.
Yes. I'm sure they've gotten much more conscious of their own hearts.
It's made my family really watch what they're eating and work out and take care of their heart.
And the pediatric cardiologists that you saw out in Houston, as well as other pediatric cardiologists in this area or down in Charleston, have they talked about whether this comes in as a family trait, or are there other family members, your grandparents or otherwise, that have had either the hole in the hearts, or is this just something?
Well, I've had family members who have had heart problems, but they're not the same kind as mine. This is not something you can really get. It's not genetic, so it's just kind of something that happens.
And again, when we just want to get back into that idea of after the surgery and some of the things immediately thereafter for folks who are faced with surgeries or are thinking about them, whether they're young or old. What are some of the things they're going to have to do immediately after a surgery to help get stronger? Did you have much time there in Houston? Did you have to stay in Houston for a good while?
We were actually in Houston a week before I went for my actual surgery. So I stayed there a week, and they did tests, and then we planned on when we were going to have my surgery and what kind of surgery I was going to have. And then I went back, and we were there for 2 weeks during the actual surgery. And I was out of the hospital in 5 days after my heart surgery, and then I had to stay for my follow-up appointment, and then I was out of there. And it went by quick, and it took me 6 months to fully recover. But after about 3 months, I felt better.
You said 6 months to fully recover, but after 3 months, you knew you were heading in the right direction.
Right.
Earlier, you said about when you looked at your brother's echo and your echo. For viewers who aren't familiar with an echo, that's an echocardiogram.
Right.
What exactly is that?
It's an ultrasound of the heart, and they actually take, just like they would for someone who's pregnant, they take a look at the heart, and you can't understand it by looking at the screen, but the more I had them done, the more I kind of understood what I was looking at. And it's very different. The two hearts were completely different.
I bet. But they don't look different in size. I mean, they're not different. Your brother's younger than you. I mean, the heart is, whether you're, as you said, 81 or 17.
Right.
The heart size.
The way they sounded was different as well, because my heartbeat's more irregular than his is, because I have a murmur.
So the murmur will stick with you. Is that something
my whole life?
You'd said oftentimes the holes close up the older you get.
Right.
I think when we saw a pediatric cardiologist for my daughter, and they talked about a very slight hole, they said it wasn't something to worry about until, and they were very blunt about it, until she was child-rearing age.
Right.
That you wouldn't really need to monitor or think about it until she was in an age, and probably something that you contemplated. But the murmur is something that will be there forever.
Forever, right. Yeah. It's just that the hole makes an extra sound when your heart beats. In most people, it's not something to worry about unless they say you have other problems.
If there was any message that you wanted to get across to folks, if you just had a minute, or if you were asked that question, let's say at a pageant, if there was the most important thing that you'd want to get across to folks regarding what you went through and how it's impacted you, what would that be, Ashlyn?
Just to take care of your body. As long as you take care of yourself, then you'll be fine, and eat the right things and exercise. That all makes a big difference.
That's great. Thanks so much for being with us
Thank
this morning.
you.
And thanks for helping out to volunteering for the Heart Ball this year.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Glad you come through it well. Absolutely.
Nice.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Ashlyn Clark coming up next.
Join the fight against heart disease and stroke as Understanding Corporation presents the 13th Annual Waccamaw Area Heart Ball. It's a sparkling black tie gala that features a reception, live and silent auction, and gourmet dining. Then, dance the night away with entertainment by Jumpstart. It all takes place on Saturday, February 17th in the Kensington Ballroom at Kingston Plantation. Call now to reserve your seat at the 13th Annual Waccamaw Area Heart Ball.
Every 35 seconds, a life is taken from cardiovascular disease. Every minute, someone suffers a stroke, a debilitating stroke. Every 3 minutes, someone dies from a stroke. It's facts and figures like that. It's fundraising opportunities like the 13th Annual American Heart Ball. You've got to think about them. But you heard Ashlyn talk about it. There's still other ways to make donations, whether it's Jump Rope for Heart, a horseback ride-a-thon, a heart walk, making a donation online, calling the Heart Association office at 626-3939 and saying, here's my credit card, I want to make a donation. You know, I go through a series of questions during an interview, and one question I had to ask off camera was, how's your life changed since when you found out about the congenital heart defect there and today? You know, you hear Ashlyn going through all those, but one of those most important aspects is any issues that I hadn't mended with people, I made an effort to mend them. You know, oftentimes it's serious consequences that you face in life that cause you to make changes, and this is one that's obviously in the end worked out for the best. Get out of here Saturday, February 17th. Support the American Heart Association.